You're listening to Scared Monkeys Radio. Once again, here's your host, Dana Pretzer.
Okay, we're back. In a recent interview with Beth Holloway, I brought up the term to her about justice, and justice can be served in many different forms. And I said, justice, in my opinion, may not be served in a court in Aruba, but justice certainly could be served by being able to locate her missing daughter, NATALEE Holloway, and bring her home to Alabama where she belongs. With an update on the search for NATALEE Holloway, I have Art Wood, former Secret Service agent and current private investigator. Hi, Art. Welcome back to the program.
Hi, Dana.
Now,
I appreciate your having me on. Quite frankly, we have some bad news regarding the search for NATALEE. As you may or may not know, John Silvetti and his company and the crew of the Persistence has been searching since before Christmas.
Right.
They have completed an underwater survey, the grid of all of the territory that they're going to search off the coast of Aruba. They have identified over 100 possible targets that could be NATALEE on the ocean floor. They're trying to narrow that list to 30 or 40 more likely targets so that they can dive on them. However, John has informed us that they are totally out of money. If they can't come up with some donations within the next week to 10 days, they're going to be bringing the boat home. That doesn't mean we're going to give up. The targets are marked, and we're going to make every attempt to get the resources together to dive on these targets. However, Dave Holloway has right as we speak. He's been talking to various officials, and we're even asking the Arubans to chip in to help pay for the expenses. The cost of fuel and everything for the Persistence, it's cost them over $1 million already. And without some charitable contributions, we're going to have to abandon the search at this time. Without contributions, the Persistence is coming home. And I'm very, very disappointed. It would be a tragic end to this mission. We need to complete it. Even though the chances of finding NATALEE may be dim, we will never know unless we dive on those targets.
you bring up a good point, Art, that the time, the effort since before Christmas, over $1 million of donated time. This is something that people have helped with, but they need to help some more. Tell us how my listeners or anyone that's out there with an organization or whatever that would like to help contribute to this. How can they?
Well, I'll tell them exactly how they can help, and I can tell them also that every dollar they donate would go toward the mission of completing that mission and to help find missing people. The NATALEE Holloway Foundation was set up as a charitable organization to find missing people abroad, to help families who are searching for their loved ones who are missing abroad. And quite frankly, I would request that your viewers, if they are willing to make a contribution toward this cause, to send a contribution to the NATALEE Holloway Foundation, located at Post Office Box 4363, Meridian, Mississippi 39304. And I assure them that there is no how do you say it? It's not like when you make a donation and you only 10% of it goes toward what you want it to.
Right.
There is no administrative costs or anything associated with the NATALEE Holloway Foundation. I'm on the board of directors of the NATALEE Holloway Foundation. I've served on that board for 2 years, and I do it for free. I am a volunteer. Everybody in the NATALEE Holloway Foundation is a volunteer, and we don't take any payment. I wouldn't if I could.
And how important is this? Again, Art, before I let you go, I'll have you give that address one more time. But if people are just tuning in late or missed what you just said, I want you to go over it one more time as far as what's been going on with the Persistence.
Well, the most important thing is that the Persistence has done something that nobody else could have done. They are a survey ship with the greatest technology in the world. They surveyed the entire coast off of Aruba and mapped it out in grids to the point where they were able to identify targets as small as a football on the bottom of the ocean. And they've identified over 100 targets that could possibly be NATALEE. They're specifically thinking that she might be in a crab pot, so they are paying particular attention to targets that size, targets that would hold a human body. And if they even reduce the over 100 targets, they're still going to have to dive on 40 or 50 targets. It costs a fortune now with the price of gasoline skyrocketing and diesel fuel skyrocketing to run that big ship, and they're out of money. It's just totally gone. The crew of the Persistence, the company that owns the boat, the captain, it's cost over $1 million to date, and it was all donated. They were never paid a dime. But we need to bring some divers in, and we need to put fuel in that ship in order to complete this mission. And I think we could do it. He estimates in 2 weeks we could dive on all of the high priority targets and determine once and for all if NATALEE's down there. That's what our hope is, that somebody will come forward, or many people will come forward with just some minor dollar donations to help us complete this mission. And they can send that donation to the NATALEE Holloway Foundation, Post Office Box 4363, Meridian, Mississippi. That's Meridian, Mississippi 39304. And that is a charitable organization. None of that money will go to anything but to complete this mission.
Just before I let you go, Art, and again, I do encourage my listeners to make their donations ASAP because we want the search to continue. There was a press release came out today as far as some fabric that was found as part of this search being analyzed by the FBI crime lab in Virginia, I believe, not being the same as what NATALEE was wearing the night she disappeared. Can you comment on that?
Well, all I could say is that I'm unaware that the FBI crime lab examined any favor. If did that report come out on AP or? Yeah,
it's been all over the news wires today.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
I was unaware of it, but quite frankly, that's kind of disheartening. I would rather they found something, but quite frankly, we're looking for NATALEE, and the chances are still there.
Yeah, and we all have to remember that the search for NATALEE is one thing. The search for evidence to continue with the investigation is another thing, and maybe the two intertwined, but it's so important that this search continues, so I encourage you all to make your donations right away. Art Wood, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for...
And I didn't mean to sideswipe Art with that question, but